Welcome to the Dub Dive. Today, we're setting out on this really fascinating journey, looking into the sources you've shared about the remarkable life and career of Juhi Chawla. Our mission really is to sort of unpack the key milestones and the big transformations of, a true Bollywood icon. And we're not just talking about an actress here. Her portfolio is incredible. She was a model, then a film producer, a very sharp entrepreneur, and also a dedicated environmental activist. It's a really multifaceted story.
It really is. And what the sources consistently show, about her journey is just this masterclass in adaptability, in evolution, really. She didn't just move through different phases. She seemed to constantly reinvent herself, moving pretty skillfully from beauty pageants to lead roles and then pivoting again into business, into social causes. It really speaks volumes about her foresight, doesn't it? And that drive to stay relevant and, well, make a difference.
Absolutely. So this deep dive, we hope, will bring out some maybe surprising early career steps, how she really captivated audiences for, well, decades, and the significant impact she's had way beyond just the movies. We'll be touching on the specific awards, those memorable roles that kind of define different eras for her. It should be a thorough, but hopefully really engaging look at her whole trajectory. So yeah, let's dive in. Now, looking back at where it all started, this impressive career arc, it kind of kicked off with a big splash in the pageant world, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The sources confirm she won Miss India in 1984, and she even picked up the Best Costume Award at Miss Universe that same year, which is notable. But the real cinematic breakthrough, that really seemed to ignite in 1988 with Kayamat Se Kayamat Talk. What do the sources tell us about that film's impact?
Oh, that film. It wasn't just a hit. It was like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It basically catapulted her onto the A-list almost overnight. And it quickly cemented her as, one of the top actresses all through the 90s. The sources always point to her incredible charm, but also, crucially, her comic timing that really set her apart.
Yeah, right. That comic timing was something else.
Exactly. And she got the Filmfare Award for Best Actress for Hum Hi Rahi Pyar Ke, which really highlighted that brilliance. But she wasn't just comedy. Her range was impressive, powerful performances in films like Dar and Ishki 2. Her ability to juggle those different genres and connect so authentically with people. It says a lot about her appeal.
Yeah, absolutely. So after that really dominant run in the 90s, the sources seem to point to a key turning point around the 2000s. She seems to have consciously shifted towards more mature, sort of character-driven roles. We saw this in films like My Brother, Nikhil, and Gulab Gang as well, where she starred opposite Madhuri Dixit, which was quite something. What do the sources suggest was driving that evolution? Was that a tough shift, you think, in an industry that often likes to typecast its stars?
That's a really important point. And the sources suggest it was definitely strategic, but also ultimately very rewarding for her.
Yeah.
For many actresses, after being the romantic lead for so long, that transition can be tricky. But Juhi Chawla, by taking on films like My Brother, Nikhil, which tackled some pretty sensitive social issues, she really showed this remarkable artistic maturity. It wasn't just a graceful aging process, if you will. It felt like a deliberate choice to broaden her scope as an artist, proving she was much more than just, the charming lead. It let her explore these complex characters and stay relevant in a really dynamic industry.
That's a fascinating look at her on-screen evolution. But her influence, as the sources show, definitely didn't stop there. Beyond the film sets, she made a really significant move into business and production.
Precisely. Her acting career transitioned almost seamlessly into this quite powerful entrepreneurial spirit. The sources show that back in 1999, she co-founded Dreams Unlimited. And she did this with Shah Rukh Khan and Aziz Mirza.
So big names.
Exactly. And this wasn't just like a side project. It felt really strategic, especially at a time when actresses often faced, a shorter shelf life after lead roles. By partnering with industry giants, she basically leveraged her own capital, her network, to build a long-term role behind the camera, producing major films like Ahsoka and Chalte Chalte. It showed a kind of foresight that maybe wasn't as common among her peers back then.
And her business sense didn't just stop at film production. She also jumped into the, pretty high-stakes world of sports, became a co-owner of the IPL cricket team, the Kolkata Knight Riders, also with Shah Rukh Khan. Now, for listeners maybe not familiar, IPL is the Indian Premier League, huge T20 cricket league, massively popular, very valuable. What do the sources say about that partnership? What did it represent for her moving into sports ownership?
Well, it absolutely solidified her image as a serious businesswoman, way beyond acting. The sources really highlight this partnership as showing her diverse interests and her willingness to just take on totally new challenges. Co-owning a major sports franchise like KKR, especially in league as big as the IPL,
Yeah?
well, that requires a whole different kind of business skill, doesn't it?
Hmm.
It's about brand building, sports management, huge financial investment. It just shows an incredible capacity for strategic thinking outside the world where she initially made her name.
That's certainly an impressive range of ventures. Screen, boardroom, sports arena, wow.
Yeah.
But beyond all the commercial success, the sources also point to this maybe quieter but really impactful side of her career, her environmental activism.
Absolutely. And her commitment there, it doesn't feel like just a sideline, you know? It seems like a really significant part of her legacy now.
Yeah.
It shows deep personal conviction. The sources particularly mention her vocal stance on radiation pollution from mobile towers, which is actually a pretty unique focus for a public figure, right?
It is, yeah.
Alongside her work in afforestation, planting trees, and pushing for organic farming, she didn't just, like, lend her name. She really seemed to get into the details of these issues, raising awareness, pushing for change. And then there's her ongoing support for NGOs working on education and children's health. It paints a picture of a very holistic approach to social responsibility.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, it's just so clear that Juhi Chawla built this incredibly impressive and really varied career arc, starting with that early pageant success, Miss India '84, the best costume at Miss Universe, then the big breakthrough with Kayamat Se Kayamat Talk in '88. Then she basically reigned as a '90s superstar, celebrated for that expressive acting, that brilliant comic timing in films like Hum Hain Rahi Pyar Ke, which got her the Filmfare Best Actress Award and memorable roles in Dar Ishki, followed by that very conscious shift to more character-driven stuff in the 2000s like My Brother, Nikhil and Gulab Gang.
And then tying that film career into her business side. Co-founding Dreams Unlimited back in '99, producing films like Ahsoka, Chalta Chalta. Then the move to co-own the Kolkata Knight Riders IPL team really showcased that business acumen beyond acting. And on top of all that, her really impactful environmental work, especially on mobile tower radiation, afforestation, organic farming, plus her support for NGOs, it truly rounds out a legacy defined by both, innovation and real social conscience.
Indeed, she really cemented her place as one of the most beloved and successful actresses of her time. Celebrated not just for the roles, but for that genuine sort of joyful connection she seemed to build with millions through her acting and that comic brilliance.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe a final thought for you listening. As you reflect on Juhi Chawla's journey, I mean, from winning a beauty pageant to co-owning a cricket team and championing environmental causes, what aspects of building a truly diverse and impactful legacy like hers resonate most with you?